All right, we'll start this week's vlog with a little update on the agility course that I started working on last week. Get some light in here. And it's basically done. There's Hucka Puppa. Huck, go in there. Come here. Come here. Go in. Go through. Go through. Go on. Good boy. Yeah, that's a good boy. So there's several steps to it. Basically, they walk through this thing to work on their agility. Then they jump these things, which are set kind of low right now for Huck because his back legs aren't the greatest. Then they can go up over this. And then we practice our weaves here. In and out, in and out. Then there's a platform where they go up and they sit. And they can go up over this A-frame and then onto the teeter-totter and then back through. So that's this update. Looks done, looks good. So in this vlog, we're gonna discuss where the quartering name came from. We're gonna discuss a big change I'm trying out in my life, and it's gonna be a tough one. And I hope that you enjoy it. I think Thursday's vlog is gonna be a little more entertaining, but you know, I wanted to give you an update on this, and obviously I talked about how I would talk about how I got my name. So if you enjoy the vlogs, please do leave a like on it and make sure you subscribe. Help us hit, I think, 4,000 subscribers already, which is pretty bonkers. It's doing much better than I thought, and it's humbling, and it seems like people really like it. I'm gonna try to do more, you know, stuff that is interesting. Y'all seem to like the fish tank thing last week. I don't have a lot of things as cool as that, but we'll work on it. We've got some severe storms coming in, I guess, tonight. Tornado watch in Wisconsin. So I've got to pick up all this stuff outside here. But first we're going to talk about the name, and then we're going to talk about the changes, and I'll take you on a little tour of that stuff. So, where does the quartering come from? Well, it's really not that interesting. I think a lot of YouTubers don't have, there you go, boy, a great story for where they came up with their name, but it's literally at the time when kind of like the culture battles started, and it's a reference to being drawn and quartered, and not necessarily in the way that you think. So the reference to being drawn and quartered is that it felt like at the time when I picked the name, all the things that I liked were getting torn apart, pulled in each different direction, whether it was politics or money or whatever. And really, really, the deep lore is, it's a reference to Magic the Gathering. I used to play Magic the Gathering a lot. The game got exceedingly woke, and basically said they didn't want any conservatives spending millions of dollars with them anymore. And it became very unwelcoming. And it was the first time in my entire life that I had experienced anything like that, in particular with Magic the Gathering, because the community for Magic is so welcoming. It is just, everybody generally gets along, except what happened was some of the more activist people, just like a lot of things, activists moved in, they dominated the space, they got all the relationships with the brand, and the brand thought, well, this is what everybody wants. They want trans, you know, Magic the Gathering players, cards. I mean, they want BLM references. They want us to make Aragorn black. And it was just like this feeling that everything I loved, whether it was video games or Magic the Gathering or D&D or movies, they were all getting torn apart at the limbs because politics. And that's really, you know, I could have called the channel Drawn and Quartered, I suppose. Little too long. I have a marketing background, and I thought, oh, Huck's over in the pool. Hucky, are you getting all wet? But so, yeah, I was at a time in which Magic the Gathering was still this thing that I had been playing since 1993, 1994-ish. I started playing right when I was like probably 10 or 11, so maybe 1995 at the latest, because Revised was still out. So, yeah, 1994, 1995 is probably, I spent 20 years playing this game, and it was something where you could just sit down and nobody talked about politics. Nobody talked about, any divisive issues. For the most part, we would talk about, card quality or broken combos or the new EDH commander, not called EDH anymore, commander. But somewhere along the lines, Wizards of the Coast decided that they wanted to push, not just be a progressive company, but actively push people out of it. In fact, their community manager made like a whole post on their official Reddit disparaging and defaming me. And it basically led to this channel getting its initial following, because what happened next was I went on a crusade against Wizards of the Coast, and with the help of an investigative reporter, Luke Calgiovanni, we found about a dozen convicted PEDs in the Magic the Gathering judge program. And we used that as a cudgel to roast Wizards of the Coast, to force change. And ultimately, we got that change. Wizards of the Coast then instituted background checks. They fought deeply against it. Why? Because dead names. We don't want to do background checks because we have one trans judge and they don't want to be dead named. They don't want to do. Well, it turns out that there was a hive of chomos in the Magic the Gathering community. I exposed them, and as a thank you for that, I ended up getting banned from Patreon because I was sloppy and I exposed some like addresses or something like that. Patreon was just protecting the same people, and it was a weird time, but it was definitely like my red pill moment. It was a very interesting thing to take part in, to see unfold. And, that's kind of what dragged me into the culture, where I didn't, Plymouth Rock, I didn't land at Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on me. You're going to be all wet now, Baba. Papa. Are you chilling? Are you chilling out with your dill out? Hey, good boy. Do something. There's your German Shepherd content for this vlog. And then now we're going to move to a big kind of life change that I've decided to undergo. We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping I'm committed to it. I'm hoping that, it can be a change for good, and it should be pretty interesting. Now I've got a wet dog. Now we've got to run around a little bit, probably dry him off. But yeah, that's where the quartering came from. It's a reference to being drawn and quartered. Specifically a reference to, losing my favorite hobby, a hobby that I had, built lifelong friendships through, a hobby that, obviously I was hanging out with a bunch of libs and it didn't matter because you didn't talk about politics. You just played the game. Whoop. There goes the neighborhood. We've got some strong winds coming in. I suspect severe weather tonight, but this will probably be not there for long. But let's get inside where it's not so windy. It's probably a lot of wind noise on the audio here, and we'll take a look at another update. All right, well, it's no surprise to anybody that this is the least used room in my house. It's my workout room, and well, it's time to make a change. And I've been working with my friend Melonie Mac. We're gonna try keto. Now, I know you're probably gonna feel like you have to offer a bunch of suggestions and this, and I will take those into account. Or maybe you're going to say, well, that doesn't work, or this, that, and the other thing. I know. I've tried a lot of things. What I'm trying to do is not get on the fat jab. And so this will kind of be my last go at it. From what I found, doing some weightlifting will turbocharge it. I only really have these adjustable barbells, but it seems like we'll be all right. And once my knee is better, I can do more cardio. I've got this bench and those barbells. I think that's all I'm going to need. And it's been interesting so far. Some of the biggest concerns people had about it, it really hasn't happened yet, but it's early. The hardest part for me so far is just keeping up with water, keeping up with the amount of water I'm supposed to be drinking every day, something 150 to 170 ounces. That's been more difficult than cutting carbs. Cutting carbs are, it's a thing. It's obviously the core tenet of keto and getting your body into ketosis. I don't know. We're going to see how it shakes out. So here's my plan so far. Maybe if you've done keto before, let me know. I started with a very simple meal plan, something that I knew I could stick to, right? So bacon and eggs for breakfast, protein shake for lunch, and like a steak or burgers or chicken or something, some level of high level of protein for dinner. Try to have dinner like around 4 o'clock. I got the electrolyte stuff, sugar-free electrolyte powder. I bought the fiber pills because everyone said that there's an unintended, your body doesn't, it takes a while for your body to adjust. And, at 43, it's obviously 10 years, 15 years past time when I should have taken this stuff more seriously. I'm definitely down from my fattest. When I got back from Hawaii, I was probably the biggest I've ever been. I'm down 40 pounds from that, but I have another 100 to lose. And I just keep plateauing at like kind of the same levels. And, for a long time, I've been able to carry the weight because I'm 6'5", almost 6'6". And so, I don't look the same as people who maybe weigh much less than me. But with my knee, having the problem with my knee, it was a bit of a reality check. It was a bit of a, oh yeah, dude, like you're carrying around an extra 100, 125 pounds. Things are going to start going wrong. Your knees, your back. And I've been having some small problems with that, but never anything really enough to get me to take it seriously. And so hopefully I'll be able to stick to this. I've tried paleo, and I always fall off the wagon, like after a week or two. And so this will be a real test here to commit, 2 days in. Like today I was feeling kind of lightheaded this afternoon. It's probably gonna, I probably didn't eat enough for breakfast. I don't know. I definitely need to, I'm never going to get shredded. That's not my goal. I've never been that body type ever. But, it'd be nice to not have a massive coronary before I'm 50. And, I think the important thing is trying to find something that you can actually stick to, find something that, you can stick to for life, so to speak. And the keto people I talk to, they have their days off, they have their days on. There's a definite penalty if you cheat. Your body will react very poorly. I'm using a couple of apps to track my progress. And I don't think I'll be doing a ton of updates on that. Maybe like at major milestones, if I'm down 20, 40, 50, we'll talk about that. But this channel is not going to be about my weight loss journey. But, I've really tried to avoid shortcuts, but also I've done nothing. So it's, at this point, it's like better to take a shortcut than not go anywhere. And this is kind of my last ditch thing before I go to pharmaceuticals. And so I'm really committed to, plus it's really expensive. But yeah, my knee injury, put kind of things in perspective where it's like, okay, dude, like you're being hard on your body, like my feet, stuff like that, all that's getting punished. And then like more than just the keto, I need to be more active. It's very easy for me to, when I track steps, I could go an entire day and only have 1,500 steps. I wake up, I come down to my office, I work for 8 to 10 hours, I eat dinner, I sit down on the couch. And that's something that is obviously not okay, a sedentary lifestyle. But in the past, I've kind of jumped in with both feet, and then that's usually when it fails. So I'm going to try to just be like, all right, give me like 3 weeks on keto alone. Just get that handled. Go through all the side effects and all the stuff that people talk about, keto flu, all this kind of stuff. And then worry about starting to work out. Like once I have my calories and carbs under control, then I'll start working out. I'll probably start sooner than that. But, right now I just want to focus on getting 150 ounces of water and, not getting dehydrated and seeing if I can just make it through the day without carbs and with very few carbs. And it's going to be interesting. I mean, there's a lot of success stories, but I think ultimately, I can see the comments now, oh, you should do paleo, or you should do this, you should do that. If it works for you, then it's a good program. And I've tried a lot of things. I got inspired when I was going to do the boxing match, and I got down probably 20 pounds less than what I am right now. And once that guy backed out and he didn't want to do it anymore, I lost my motivation, got off the wagon. And in general, I don't really eat that unhealthy. It's just that I'm living the life of a sloth. And so I have to find a way to get more active, to, stick to something. I know a lot of people talk about, the weight will just fall off, this and the other thing. Well, I also don't want to end up like, I want to replace it with something, with muscle. And so working out will definitely be an important part of this, but I'm hoping that you guys will continue to hold me accountable and keep, asking me questions about it. Because, having an accountability buddy, which like Melonie is for me, is clutch. But to have like 1,000 of them, probably even better. And I'm hoping that it will inspire some people too. Like I'm hoping I can get through this journey and at least get back down to, slightly obese instead of morbidly obese. And hopefully some of my viewers I know who struggle with health, if I can do it, anyone can do it. But I'm sounding all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on day one right now. I had steak last night. I'm going to have steak tonight. I look forward to dinner all day long. And it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But hopefully we'll be doing a vlog in 6 months and I'll be like, hey, I'm down 40 pounds, 30 pounds. And hopefully people start to see it. I don't know. But I'm out of time. I'm out of time before I probably have other major problems. And so, that's a different level of commitment. And I don't really want to be one of those people that, has a massive coronary and then figures it out and then gets in shape, and I'm probably out of time to, keep floating by before, my knees start getting more problems or my back starts getting more problems or, whatever the case may be. And so it's a combination, obviously, of keto and then cutting alcohol. And cutting the booze thing won't be hard. It's just the same thing, get used to, find your habit and just lock in. I have a very addictive personality. And so I'm hoping that I get addicted to the results. And you get kind of that rush after you do something for a week or two. When I started intermittent fasting, I lose 3 pounds, 4 pounds. And it was like, yes, let's go. I want to push myself even harder. Well, I'm hoping that this does that for me too. So should be a fun journey. On Thursday's vlog, I'm gonna have something special for you. I'm gonna actually leave the house, and we should have some cool footage for you on Thursday at 6 o'clock to go through. It'll be a little more of a recreational type vlog, but you know, I can't always just troll bait on every one of these. So I think you guys prefer the more personal, like real ones, as opposed to just like rage baiting trolls. So yeah, so journey starts today. I suppose there won't be much of an update Thursday, but next week, Tuesday, I'll probably let you know how the first week went, what kind of side effects I had, what kind of struggles I had, and you know, hopefully I'll be able to report a little bit of weight loss, although it's only a week, so you know, I'm gonna try to have manageable goals. So yeah, big change, and I'm hoping you guys will help hold me accountable, and yeah, so hope you guys have a good day, and you'll be seeing this Tuesday. It's Monday when I'm filming it, and then I will film Thursdays on Wednesday, and hope you like that one too. Hope you guys are enjoying the vlogs, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Help us get to 4,000, and we'll see you in the next one.